Everyone, I am Dr. Burkey in the political science program, and I'm excited to share my research with the university community. I'm exploring how democratizing movements in American politics, such as the abolitionist movement, the labor movement, the civil rights movement, contest and disrupt our desire for normalcy or a normal politics. If you think about it, at some point over the past several years, you've probably articulated this desire for normalcy. Perhaps you expressed this desire in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of us long for a return to normal in the midst of that public health crisis. Or perhaps over the past few years, you've expressed a desire for normalcy in relation to the economy. Faced with rising prices and inflation, many Americans desire a return to an economic normal. And indeed, many Americans have wished that our politics would return to normalcy, a normal constitutional order, perhaps, in the wake of recent challenges to constitutional precedent and principle, or a return to a normal in which there are not attempts to subvert elections in the wake of January 6th, for example. Or perhaps a return to a normalcy of the past in which Americans were less bitterly divided, less partisan, exhibited less animosity toward their fellow citizens. We could give more examples of the resonance of this desire for normalcy. The desire for normalcy or a return to normal is a ubiquitous feature of our public life as American citizens. America's tradition of democratizing movements, however, teaches us about the dark side of this desire for normalcy, about the ways in which normalcy may undermine democracy. What we think of as an ideal in our politics may actually be a pitfall. Movements can show us this because every resistance movement in American politics has needed to deconstruct our normality, distill the injustices embedded within our notion of normal, and demonstrate that our normalcy is not inevitable, not natural. Most importantly, appeals to normalcy and the desire for normalcy dissipate the imperative of our political agency. The appeal of normal times is the escape from political tumult. Normalcy offers stasis, comfort, predictability. In normal times, we can afford to be politically disengaged. But the advancement and defense of democracy, as our emancipatory movements teach us, demand the opposite of us. Political attentiveness, deliberation, participation are the sensibilities of citizenship democracy thrives upon. In the research I'm currently doing, I show these dynamics at work in the anti-Vietnam War movement of the late 1960s, using this movement as a case study and framework for reassessing the place of normalcy in our contemporary political moment. One reason this movement remains important is that activists insisted their goal was not merely to end one misbegotten foreign policy decision, the war in Vietnam, but to disrupt what the Vietnam Moratorium Committee called business as normal in American society. When I complete the piece, you can read about the Catonsville Nine, for example, pictured here burning 1A draft cards in May of 1968. And one of their members, Daniel Berrigan, perhaps the most articulate activist on this question of normalcy. Berrigan worried that Americans acted politically, quote, always with an eye to the great return, as he put it. That is, an eye to the return of normal, a normalcy that he and his fellow anti war activists wanted to reconfigure, not return to. This research is still underway, but if you'd like to explore this theme of normalcy more now, you can check out my piece in The Nation entitled The Problem with Weird. There you'll discover how Martin Luther King approached this problem of normalcy, why he felt the civil rights revolution in America depended upon moving beyond and not returning to a normal politics, and what those who wish to defend democracy against authoritarianism today can learn from MLK's critique of normal politics. Thanks for taking the time to learn about my research. I hope I've been engaging, and I'm excited to learn what everyone else in the Kean community is working on. Thanks, everyone.